Can't not talk about the elephant in the room. So let's address everything before I go. It's going to be a quicker show today. But before I go, let's address the elephant in the room. I made an EV video last week. Well, I talked about the EV Evolve 50 in my last week's episode of my show. Now, I didn't plan on talking about it. I always thought in the back of my head, right? This is, my honest, like I always thought in the back of my head that the Evolve 50, was a little overpriced and a little overhyped, you know what I mean, for what it was. And the main point of my video and the main point I really wanted to get across, if I could be honest, was like, that column arrays in general, like these compact column array setups aren't a good idea to use for large rooms, for crowds of over 150 people. Like, in my opinion, it's just not enough. You know what I mean? Like, and they're marketed, and like a lot of DJs claim they're enough. Like, even after I came out with that video, a lot of DJs said, man, I've used my Evolve 50s for 400 people. To me, that's ridiculous. They're not made for that whatsoever. Neither are the Evox 8s. Neither are the L1 Compacts. Neither, like, any other brand. Like, I'm not just, picking on Evolve 50s. Like, I'm talking column arrays in general. You don't want to use them for large crowds, huge rooms. You know what I mean? Especially, and a lot of people said, well, I don't play club music, so and I get that, so maybe you don't need as much bass, but regardless, you're still not getting a full sound with 30-foot ceilings or in a huge tent or outdoors or whatever, using this with so many people, right? They're great for 100 people, 125 maybe, small to medium-sized rooms, lower ceilings, like where I was at the Old Mill Inn, right? The Evolve 50s would have been solid here, right? They would have been solid here. They would have been solid, lower ceilings, right? They would have been, I wanted a little more, and they wanted a lot of hip hop, so I brought my big shit, and it was just overkill. But they would have been solid here because it's lower ceilings, right? Bigger rooms, no, that was my main point. You know what I mean? And I always thought this in the back of my head, right? But I never wanted to just come out and say it unsolicited. It didn't make sense to say it, you know what I mean? So I just, whatever, what does it matter to me? I'll just keep it moving. And, I do have a relationship with RCF. Have I signed a contract with them? No. Right? There's no contract, but I have a very good relationship with them, and, they consider me an artist. So, but they had no idea that I was even doing that, right? It had nothing to do with them, by the way. Nothing to do with them. Because a lot of people were like, oh, well, how are you going to just go and trash Evolve 50s when you work for RCF? That's crazy. You just did that for monetary reasons to make money. No, I didn't make a dime for that. They had no idea. If anything, they're probably low-key mad at me for it. You know what I mean? I didn't tell them about it. Okay, I kind of went off the rails and did it, because it just, I wanted to be truthful with you guys. You know what I mean? It had nothing to do with that. Oh, you should disclose your sponsorships. It's what do you want me to, in the beginning, before I say this, this next message is brought to you by RCF. What am I supposed to say? It wasn't. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, before I say this, no, you guys are well aware of what I do. Okay, you guys are well aware. It's all over the place that I love RCF and I have a relationship with them, and that's it. You know what I mean? And I want to keep it where I have the freedom to talk about whatever I want to talk about and say it the way I want to say it and be completely upfront and honest with you guys and not sugarcoat anything. And that's it. That's what I want. That's what I want. And if RCF came to me and said, listen, we don't want you talking about all this stuff anymore, then I'd probably be like, yeah, well, you know what I mean? I got to do what I got to do. And I would still praise them and we'd keep it moving, I like RCF because they're the best speaker. I approach them. They don't have any other RCF artists. They don't sponsor anybody else. There's no other wedding DJ associated with them. It's just me because I've been knocking on their door for years saying, I love your stuff. I'd love to work with you guys. I'd love to make a video for you guys. I've been grinding that out. I've been cold calling them, because I really love their shit. And that's it. And if it ended up not working out, I'd just keep it moving. I'd keep using their stuff. I'd pay for it. I'd praise them from the mountaintops, and that'll be it. Let bygones be bygones. Because at the end of the day, I don't do this for sponsorships. This is not why I make videos for you guys, okay? I don't make videos to make money. If you watch any YouTube, there's not a lot of money in YouTube until you get real big, I guess. Maybe, obviously you can make tons of money in YouTube, but not at my size, okay? I don't make a ton of money. Okay, I was thinking about doing a video about how all that worked eventually, but I don't do this for sponsorship, guys. I don't. I do this to help you guys out. I do this to put great information out there for you. Okay, because I'm sure you saw DJ Idea Sharing. Nick Hahn came out with this whole big comment, this whole post, right? And I expected posts like this. I mean, not from him. From him, it was kind of out of nowhere. I didn't even know he had a relationship with him. I've met this guy before. I've had conversations with him. I like him. I think he's a really cool dude, honestly. I get a great vibe from him. Like, I like the guy. Like, I always liked the guy. I knew of him through conferences and everything out for a couple of years now. Definitely like the guy. Came out with this. I was like, damn, he's mad, right? What threw me off a little bit with him was that he sat on Facebook and answered every comment, right? Like, just trashing me, like just rebuttal in every comment, right? I'm like, dude, you're going out of your way, right? We talked yesterday. I ran into him yesterday at the karaoke thing they had. So it was like the Monday night karaoke thing for Marquee. In his defense, right? And we talked everything. And he said, like, listen, man, as far as like answering all the comments, that's just what I do. He said, that's just what I do. Okay, my wife hates it. When I make a post, I don't bail. I sit there and I answer every fucking comment. Right? I'm like, all right, well, fair enough. If that's just what you do, I believe you. You know what I mean? Like, it's because talking shit on shit is what I do. I mean, if I don't like something, I'm going to tell you. It's just what I do, and that's what I told you, And his main point with this is not to even like talk shit on me, because he did give me some good compliments. He said I'm a great DJ, solid educator. He told me that he saw me do a seminar at Midwest DJs Live in 2019. He said it was one of the best seminars he's ever seen in his whole career. And that was like a huge compliment, and I appreciate that. So that's cool, So, like, it's all good. It's just that his thing was he wanted to put this out there because he thought that I was really shooting myself in the foot. He thinks that I have a lot of potential. He thinks I have a good show. He thinks I have, like, a good whatever, like, good things going on the internet, whatever I do. And he said, like, I'm really shooting myself in the foot by, like, taking the course I did, the how rough I am around the edges, how I speak, how direct I am, is shooting myself in the foot for potential relationships with other vendors, with big manufacturers, your Guitar Centers, your Pioneers, all those, right? I'm just shooting myself in the foot for all that. Nobody's ever going to want to work with me because of what I've said on videos and how, like, how too honest I am, right? And so this was a post just basically warning other DJs. Listen, look at Nick, right? Nick is doing great, but now Nick does this and he's going to be having trouble in the future. Don't be like Nick, right? And I get where he's coming from. And he's right. He's fucking right. He's 100% right. The man is right. But like I told him, right? I'm not saying anything now that we didn't talk about face to face, right? Like I told Nick, I'm not doing this for sponsorships. I'm not doing this for relationships with vendors. I don't care about that. I really don't. I value my relationship with RCF, right? If anybody else, whatever, if one day, if it makes sense and I would value, that's all great, but like, that's not why I do this. I do this for you guys. I do this to give the best possible advice, the honest. I want to say the shit that nobody else will say. Okay, because they don't want to lose their sponsorship. Okay, I will say the shit that literally no other YouTuber will say, because they have relationships, because they have they made all their deals behind the curtains, right? I will say all that shit. I will tell you if something sucks, if something's great, if something's just okay. I will always be honest and transparent with you. Always. That's my dedication to you. I promise. Okay, and I gotta highlight my favorite comment. So he made this post on idea sharing and DJ idea sharing, and it went viral. Not viral, but like it got a bunch of comments or whatever. And this was my favorite comment. And it literally can't, it doesn't explain me any better. Like, this is the most perfect comment to explain where I'm coming from, of how I am, right? Like how I'm always going to be, what my brand is, and how I am. Look at this comment, right? If you want to see who it's from, I didn't want to put the guy out there. So, just go to the post if you want to see who it's from. It's up there. But this guy said, there's definitely a right and a wrong way to discuss products and or businesses. Sadly, some are unable to differentiate the two. Bad way. XYZ product is the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked, and you're a terrible human being if you use said products. Good way. XYZ products are only designed to handle certain events up to this many people due to its manufactured configuration and specs. If you're looking to do certain events, here are some options that may help you achieve what you're looking to accomplish in a more efficient or better way over XYZ product. That good way, the good way there, right there, okay? This this good way right here, that is exactly what I never, ever will fucking do on this channel. Okay, that is exactly to a T what I cannot stand. Personally, for me, I'm not talking. All right, if you're a YouTuber watching, if you do this, okay, fine, you do you. It's just not. It's your. I just can't stand it for me. I cannot do that. I cannot sugarcoat it in a way. Okay, honestly, this product's only made enough for this many people. But if you want to do more people, do that. What about if it's overpriced, right? What if it's like? What about the price of it? Is it too much? Is it too little? What about the sound? What about the specs? Is it well made? Is it missing features? These are all things that are very, 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 very important. And by sugarcoating it and making some stupid ass comment like this in my videos all proper, all I'm doing is sugarcoating things, and I'm not giving you guys any real facts, any real evidence or answers to go by when you buy something. And then, God forbid, I confuse somebody with this bullshit, and then they end up buying the wrong product because, well, Nick said, it's good for this, so that's all I really need it for, and it ends up not even sounding good. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways. I will not ever, 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 ever do that. Ever. Ever. I will always tell you like it is. Like, I can't stand this way of doing things. It drives me absolutely up a wall because there's no value in it. There's just no value in it. At the end of the day, I want to help you guys, okay? And that's all I'm trying to do, okay? And I know a lot of people probably hate me and have hated me for a while. I've been in the EV thing. I got 2 points with the EV too. Number one, I did not talk shit on EV. I talked shit on the EV50. The Evolve 50. That's what I talk shit on, people, okay? The Evolve 50, not EV. EV ETX is a great line of speakers, okay? They bump. They sound great. Are they my favorite? No, but they sound great. They're great speakers. I would recommend, they don't suck at all. They're great speakers. The EKX, great speakers. I used to have the EV ZA1s back in the day. With the matching subs, they were fantastic. If you don't know what they are, they're like little 8-inch speakers or 10-inch speakers, and they had little 12-inch subs that paired with them. Fantastic little setup before like the column arrays and shit came out. That was like my setup for little parties for a while. Loved them. I didn't talk shit on EV. I talk shit on the Evolve 50, okay? For the price, I just don't think it's a good value. I think there's better column arrays out there for cheaper. And that's it. And then my other point was, in general, don't use column arrays for fucking huge parties. Don't like the compact ones, right? If you get the NX24s or something, like, obviously, but you know what I mean? Like, that's not what they're made for. Get an 18-inch sub and 2 tops for bigger parties. If you do real big parties, real big rooms, get 2 18s. Invest your money. It's worth it. An 18-inch sub, no matter what the brand, will provide a deeper frequency response so you're going to have more bass and deeper tones of bass. It's not just like more bass. It's like it can go deeper, right? Low by Flow Rider is a perfect example of that, right? If you listen to Low by Flow Rider, it has a really deep kick. Doom. Doom. If you play Low by Flow Rider on an Evolve 50 or an Evox 8 or whatever, you're barely going to hear the bass, right? Because it's such a low frequency that song is. If you play it on an 18-inch sub, you're going to hear it. You're going to feel it. If you somehow have a 21-inch sub, oh my God, you're going to feel it in your balls. That's what I want to get, like 21s one day. Like, that would be fucking crazy. The RCF makes these 21s. They're like nuts. But regardless, do you see what I'm saying? Okay. And, if all you do is play oldies, like literally that's all you do, then, you can get away with it. All right. I get it. But then there's also the thing of the crossover rate with the mic. And like, I like to play my music loud and to be able to talk on the mic while I'm playing my music loud and cut through the music, right? So like I'm dancing them, and I like to get on the mic. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? And then they hear me loud and clear, right? That all has to do with the crossover rate of your speaker. The crossover rate is at what point that your vocals that you're putting out like go from the top tweeter, right? Like the high part, the horn of the speaker can't handle it and has to use the subwoofer to help. Right? And that's when your voice starts getting muddled and whatnot, right? And, that's one problem I had with the Evolve 50s. And the Evox 8 does a lot better, but if I am blasting them full blast, I also cannot, it's still harder to cut through, right? If I'm full blast. Like, if you're peaking I have a huge 18-inch sub 15 HDM 45A setup. I have a huge setup, right? If I am blasting that to the gills, like literally maxing this speaker system out, and I try and talk on the mic, it's going to be a struggle, right? Any speaker system, if you're maxing it out and you try to talk on a mic, it's going to be a struggle. So ask yourself, when you're DJing, whatever setup you use, do you clip every wedding, right? Does every wedding, do you have to bring it right to the edge of clipping? You have to max it out every single wedding, or you never have headroom, right? If that's you need a different set of speakers, or you just need bigger set of speakers for the bigger stuff or whatever. Okay. If you ever, I don't remember the last time, like my main system, my 218s and my 15-inch tops, I haven't seen them clip actually one time. They've never clipped. Not once. I always have extra headroom. Always. That's what you need. That's when you can cut through the mic. That's when you can truly sound good. That's when you're not putting out a distorted signal and literally damaging people's hearing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's how speakers work. It's how sound works. That's my advice to all of you. Okay. Just really look into what you're using for what, use the right stuff. And Questlove said it in his masterclass, and I watched his masterclass, and he literally said it. He said that he saw, it's a story he told, right? If you get Questlove's masterclass, he'll tell the story. I'm gonna butcher the story, but there's this reggae guy, and he said a big moment in his life, right? Questlove, he's a DJ, he's the drummer and all that, but he's a really, really good DJ, really good like music curator, right? He saw this reggae drummer guy, and he was mind blown because he only had one record player, and he would use basically silence to make the crowd go crazy. So he would play a record, right, and then take it off, and then the crowd's going crazy waiting for him to play the next one. Oh my God, oh my God. And then when he played the next one, he'll start it really low with just like the highs, playing like reggae beats, and then bring in the mids, and slowly bring in the lows, and then stop it, and then put it all the way up, and it would be like, and he was able to do this effectively and really make the crowd go crazy just by the way he fucked with the volumes, because he had such a monster setup back then, right? Like this was back in the early 90s, huge cabinets, 10-foot cabinets. You would literally, the bass would like take your breath away, he said, right? And he said it was so powerful the way he used the sound and the way he did that from then on, when he played with the Roots, their shows went from like 105 decibels to 127 decibels, 130 decibels. They would just blast people out, but with good sound, right? Because when you really feel the music, right? When you really like feel it like in your chest and everything, especially when you have a few drinks, it affects you. It really like makes you feel good. You know, you ever hear a great stereo system in a car? You ever hear, and you ever hear a shitty one? Like, like you ever hear, like, let's say your favorite album comes out, right? Like you're waiting for this album. Your favorite artist comes out with a new album. Do you just listen to it on your phone? Like just like this? Or do you wait and listen to it on a great speaker system? Of course, you're going to wait and listen to it in your car or in your home speaker system or your DJ setup or whatever. You're going to wait on a great speaker system because you want to feel it, because it's going to feel better. It's going to be more enjoyable to listen to, and it's going to move you more when you hear it on a great system. So if you're fucking telling me that you don't need all that power because of the music you play, you don't need to have 18-inch subs for a 200-person crowd, you are doing yourself and your clients a disservice. If your shit sounds fantastic and you can feel the bass on the dance floor, I'm not talking about blowing people's eardrums, right? I'm talking about the perfect volume with the perfect amount of everything. Just imagine a perfect sound system and just feeling great. Imagine being at like a club somewhere. You know what I mean? Why do you think club systems are so crazy? You feel that. It moves you. It makes you want to dance. You're going to have better parties. Better sound equals better parties. 100,000%. If you have more bass, if you have more everything, if even you feel the music, you're more likely to dance, and you're more likely to dance longer, and you're more likely to get lost in the music and just have a great time and have that extra drink. That's when the vibe kicks in, and you're having such a great time, and you end up having one or two more than you planned on and all that shit. Like, that's how it all happens with great sound. So don't sell yourself short, okay? This isn't an RCF commercial either, okay? Go listen to every fucking speaker and buy whatever hell you want to buy, okay? I think RCF is the best. If you want my recommendation, RCF. But go listen to everything yourself and you tell me. And you get what you like best. But I don't give a shit who you are or who what works best for me. Well, it works best for me. That's all That's all I heard. Well, you could say all that, but Evolve 50s, they're the best for me. No, they're not. Not if you're doing more than 150 people in decent sized rooms. They're not, okay? They're not. No 12-inch column array, all-in-one portable setup is good enough for over 150 people. None. And there never will be one. Unless they change technology, unless something gets invented. No, there won't be. You need a larger diameter of a sub. Even the Evox 12s that have 15-inch subs, okay? You can push them a little more. You can get away with maybe 175, maybe 200. You can get away with it. It's still not enough to me, though, okay? Still not enough. I would prefer 18s. I still recommend 18s, okay? If you're going to get column arrays, then like the Evox 12s are probably the best bet because they're the only ones that have 15-inch subs and they're the biggest column arrays that I know. I think FPT makes one too. I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're the biggest. So they're probably solid, but like, get the right shit. That's all I'm saying. Okay, just get the right shit. It makes a difference. You upgrade your sound. You get the right sound for the right party where you have headroom, and you're not clipping. Right? You have headroom. You sound great. You can MC and cut through the music and really command the crowd while you're dancing. You're gonna see a huge difference in your parties. You will. Mark my words. You don't believe me? Try it out. Rent a set of speakers and see if you don't see a difference. Okay? Come back and you tell me what you found out. All right? That's all I got to say about that, people. That's all I got to say about that. I got nothing but love for everybody. No hard feelings with anything. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Mike from EV. If you're mad at me, I'm sorry. I will always speak the truth to you people. That's it. I'm going to keep it moving.